4 people died in wildfires in Cyprus, and large areas of forests and orchards were destroyed. The country's president calls it an unprecedented tragedy. NTD's Joy Duguid brings us this report.
Huge wildfires swept through parts of Cyprus on Sunday. The blaze began Saturday afternoon in the south of the eastern Mediterranean island. It spread quickly amid strong winds and forced the evacuation of at least 8 mountain villages. The fire destroyed homes and scorched 21 square miles of pine forest and orchards. Search crews discovered 4 charred bodies. Authorities believe the bodies belong to 4 missing Egyptian labourers. President Nikos Anastasiades calls the fire an unprecedented tragedy.
Following the government's decisiveness, on Wednesday the first support measures for victims will be announced, and of course an in-depth study for further measures, so that we feel that we have responded to an unprecedented tragedy.
Police say a 67-year-old man faces arson charges. The blaze forced the Cypriot government to seek support from fellow European Union nations and Israel. A pair of helicopters from British military bases in Cyprus helped firefighting efforts. According to British Forces Cyprus Twitter, they flew for 16 hours and dropped 105 tons of water. Many volunteers also rushed to help fire crews. Joy Duguid, NTD News.
The Portuguese islands of Madeira will allow visitors with vaccines not approved by the EU to boost tourism, including the controversial Covishield taken by 5 million Brits. NTD's Eddie Aiken has the latest.
The popular Portuguese island of Madeira will allow visitors with any of the COVID-19 jabs, including those not approved by the EU. So far, the EU has authorised only 4 vaccines for its digital COVID certificate: Pfizer and BioNTech, Moderna, AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson. The bloc has been criticised for not including Covishield, a version of AstraZeneca's vaccine made by Serum Institute in India. About 5 million people in Britain are thought to have had the Covishield vaccine. Brits are an important source of foreign tourism for Madeira, an autonomous region popular for its wine and green landscape. From last week, amid growing concerns over the spread of the Indian variant, Portugal started to require UK tourists to quarantine for 14 days if they are not fully vaccinated. But the rule does not apply in Madeira. Madeira is currently on the UK's Green Watch list. That means if conditions change, it can be moved from the Green list to the Amber list. The EU launched its digital COVID certificate last week. It allows citizens to travel more freely across the bloc if they have been fully vaccinated with one of the 4 approved shots, received a recent negative test result, or have immunity due to recent recovery. Member states can decide to extend the certificate to European travellers vaccinated with other shots. Eddie Aitken, NTD News.
Luxembourg's Prime Minister Xavier Bettel has been taken to hospital as a precautionary measure after testing positive for COVID-19 a week ago. At first, he experienced only mild symptoms, but he had to be taken to hospital on Sunday. The 48-year-old announced his positive test just after he had attended a European Union summit with 26 other leaders. EU summit organisers say they are confident that all virus precautionary measures had been strictly adhered to during the 2-day meeting. So far, no other leader has said he or she has tested positive. French authorities are investigating 4 fashion retailers and their connections to China's Xinjiang region. Prosecutors suspect them of concealing crimes against humanity. NTD's Patrick Hayden has the details.
French prosecutors have opened an investigation into 4 fashion retailers suspected of concealing crimes against humanity in China's Xinjiang region. The probe is linked to accusations against China over its treatments of minority Muslim Uyghurs, including forced labour. China denies the claims. A source told Reuters that Uniqlo France, a unit of Japan's fast retailing, Zara owner Inditex, France's SMCP and Skechers are the subject of the investigation. France has a central Office to Fight Crimes Against Humanity, Genocide and War Crimes, founded in 2013. The US has already recognized China's treatment of Uyghurs as genocide. Zara owner Inditex rejected the claims it's tied to forced labor in China. SMCP said it would cooperate with the French authorities to prove the allegations false. And Fast Retailing said it hadn't been contacted and has no partnerships in Xinjiang. Two non-governmental organizations filed the complaint in France in early April against the multinationals for concealment of forced labor and crimes against humanity. Patrick Hayden, NTD News, London.
Since Hong Kong authorities imposed the national security law 1 year ago, the free press has been on a downward spiral. Reporters Without Borders says the situation is more serious than ever in the peninsula. NTD's David Vivez brings us the story.
There might be no free press in Hong Kong at all in the coming years. That's according to analysis by Reporters Without Borders, or RSF. 1 year ago, the Chinese Communist Party imposed a sweeping national security law on the region that would allow the police to arrest any opponents.
It's never been that bad in Hong Kong. And we can say that press freedom in Hong Kong is in grave danger of disappearing because it's been already 1 year of endless attacks.
Apple Daily founder Jimmy Lai was arrested in August 2020. Other journalists, including those from Apple Daily, were also arrested in the past year. Other incidents also occurred, such as the attack on the Hong Kong Epoch Times newspaper printing press in April this year. According to Aldiani, after the shutdown of Apple Daily, which was a major independent outlet, smaller ones are sure to follow. RSF has appealed to the United Nations to take immediate action after the freezing of Apple Daily's assets, and also called on the international community to step in.
Democracies do not involve and do not pressure on China and do not pressure on Hong Kong. And when I say pressure, it's not only to publicly blame them, it is to hurt them through sanctions that would actually make them regret. If democracies do not do this, then press freedom in Hong Kong will surely disappear in the coming years.
He also says without freedom of press, there is no way people can have control over their lives and their future.
The people are not citizens anymore. They are subjects to the state. They are not in control of their destiny. They are not in control of what's surrounding around them. They are not aware of crimes and violations of their rights.
Reporting by David Vives, NTD News.
Visitors to Dublin's Phoenix Park may come across an unusual sight. A group of researchers holding down young deer and stuffing them into bags. NTD's Lily Joel has this report.
Wildlife ecology PhD student Laura Griffin and her team are out looking for young deer to study. 100 or so fawns are born in Dublin's Phoenix Park each June and July.
Fawns are left on their own for the first 2 weeks of their lives. That's one of the defensive behaviours that they have as a prey species. They're not strong enough to keep up with the herd when it runs, so what their mother will do is keep them hidden in long grass or nettles, wooded areas, anywhere where they can be safe or secure.
The researchers use this time to assess and tag the fawns.
We get some important science-related data, such as their weights, the different dimensions, just everything to keep track of the welfare of the herd, different DNA samples and things like that.
The team combs the grass in an almost military formation and signals with a whistle for the rest to circle in when a fawn is spotted. One group member then moves to catch it in a butterfly net.
So once we've caught it, it's very important to reduce the stress that is on the fawn. So we will cover its eyes so that it feels more secure and safe. It can't see what's happening around it. It reduces the stress. And we'll also then hold down its legs to keep it in a secure position.
These animals are European fallow deer, a species first imported from Britain in the 17th century. Lily Zhou, NTD News.
That's the news for today, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Stuart Leith. Thank you for watching our daily news show on YouTube. You can also watch our other programming on channel 190 on Sky TV or on Freeview via channel box on channel 271. In the meantime though, please give this video a like and hit subscribe to our channel. Have a good day.